Alright, what's going on, guys? We've got the distributor, and we're going to replace it with the new distributor. And hopefully this will fix my problem. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do is get yourself like a black Sharpie or a paint pen. And let me pop the cap off. And you're just going to make a few marks that you can transfer onto the new distributor to try to get your timing right. So I made one right here. It's hard to see this one. Put it right there on the first slide adjustment. And then another one on that slide adjustment. And the main reason I did that is so when I do pull this distributor, or when I match that distributor up with this one, I can transfer the marks onto this one and try to get my timing back to where it was, because my timing light is lost somewhere and I don't have $50 for a new one right now, or 100. I don't even know why they're that much. After you make your marks, the second thing you're going to do is you're going to unscrew all the screws to the cap, and you're going to pull the cap off, leaving all the wires on. And you're just going to set this up here, and this is for if your new distributor does not have the 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the cap, to let you know which spark plug wire goes to each cylinder. After you pull the cap off, you're also going to look at which way the rotor is pointing inside the cap, and that'll let you know how to do the timing on your new distributor, kind of get it back into the right spot. Yeah, take them all out. Okay, we're popping the cap off. We're checking where the rotor is so we can flippity plop the new one on in the same spot. Alright. After you do that, the cap should just plop right off. I think the rotor almost failed. That rotor looks burnt. Could be because of the bad spark. Oh, look, there's burn marks on all of them. There it goes. You see that burn mark. Alright, so now we know where the rotor is. We have an idea of where it's supposed to go. So what I'm going to do right now with the Sharpie is mark where the rotor is. And you go off of this little flat spot. I don't know what to call that exactly. Okay. And now you unplug the 2 plugs, or the 3 depending on what style you have. Oh my god, I hate these type of plugs. Now you're going to take the 4 bolts that hold your distributor on and pop those off real quick. Alright, so we got these bolts off. You're going to turn it and slowly wiggle this thing out. And there's some oil. And this one's got a seal, my last one didn't. You can see in there, on mine, it really only goes on 2 ways that you could do it. On the older model KAs and some like V8 models, there's actually a shaft that comes from the oil pump to the new pump. Alright, so now, oh, and it's got a bunch of teeth, so that's why it's really important to mark where your rotor is, because you really, trust me, you can screw it up really easy on cars like that. And it spins in, so it kind of screws with you a little bit, because you'll have it right and you'll be off a tooth. So just make sure you mark it so at least you know how it goes. Now what I'm going to do is take this cap off the new one and mark where all my marks are, like right there, right here, and then after that we'll put the new one on. Alright, I got all the marks transferred, so now I'm going to pop it on. Give me a little bit of oil. Toss it all gaskets that have to do with oil. You're gonna take a little bit of oil on your finger and just get it on the gasket.
I'm just gonna put them in there loose. Okay. I think that's the only way I do it.
Okay, that should help it slide in. grab our bolts.
Your line's so much.
I know. I just gotta get the bolts in there. See, now I gotta get a new motor because my distributor's too shiny. Man, what am I supposed to do? Does not look like it's all the way in. There's no room, and it sucks because you can't get the socket on down here, which might be a good thing because I know these bolts are pretty weak. You gotta tighten it to 2 ugg-uggas. You know. That's the correct procedure. Okay. Looks good. Now we transfer the wires onto the cap and we try to do this. I'm tempted to put this cap back on, but those points are pretty burnt, so fuck it. Oh, I gotta delete that now. Make sure your gasket's on all the way around in the right way. And this post goes. Why he caused me so many problems? Just go on there. Pull one screw in on the top, make sure your gasket's good all the way around. Your second one. Always make sure all the gasket's good before you tighten anything. The screwdriver is bent. Okay. And you can take your plugs and plug them in. Up to the right. On the side. Now we get to start it up and see if everything's running good. Looks good. Looks super, you know, super professional. Top quality work right there. So your distributor, car's running good. I'm gonna check the timing here in a little bit when I get my light, but that's just like a quick way of doing it to try to make sure you're close to where you were instead of just popping it off, popping it back on, take your own time. But yeah, pretty easy. 4 bolts, 4 wires. You have your car back. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe for more.